How are you? How are you?
Pretty good.
Hello, would you mind saying your name for the recorder, please?
So hi, recorder. My name is Sullivan Stapleton.
Oh, thank you so much for joining us, Sullivan.
No worries.
Don't mind me.
So now that we know that Jane is who is Taylor Shaw, how is that sort of going to affect your character's relationship with her and sort of the mystery behind her?
It obviously brings us closer together because she went missing when we were young, and I think due to that it sort of drove him to become an agent, and then to find someone after being missing for 20-something years, it'll bring up obviously a huge connection, and then we have to find out what happened.
Are we going to find out more about why he feels so responsible for her going missing?
Wow, he's not responsible. He was.
But he felt like really. It obviously affected him a lot.
I think he felt like that.
What is it beyond that childhood bond?
I think that'll come up. That's what drove him to become the agent, and that's why he's so focused on his job. I think that will potentially wipe away some of the guilt that he has from being there on that night.
Why do you think the show connected with people the way it did? I mean, obviously the promo is going to bring people in for the first episode, but after that it's maintained its status and it seems to be the real hit of the season. Why do you think people connected with it?
I don't know. I think it's a great story. The premise for the show, he can drive the show anyway, and he's not only is it linked with action and great fights and stuff. There's a great sort of emotional arc starting with these people, who they are. So that that in itself, I think, is a great premise for a show where it's you can delve into these characters, find out who they are, and also it's shot in New York City, so it's it's a great place to chase criminals.
Will we get to see a better look at how close Taylor and Kurt were as kids, or are you going to continue to delve into that, or?
Well, I don't know. I mean, not to sound like a shady actor, but I actually don't find out about this stuff on purpose.
Would you like to see the plot develop that way?
Well, I mean, and I think that's what we were saying, that we can delve into those characters and what makes them tick, and especially Kurt, as to why he became an agent, and how he dealt with the loss of a friend when he was young. But I don't find out about that on purpose, because I think that could affect your performance if you know that stuff. As to sort of dealing with it day by day.
Is the action component of the show something you're really enjoying?
Yeah.
Because it's such a heavy action show.
Yeah. I just want to do more of it. But it is. It's I think that's the part that sort of drew me to the show. Is not only we FBI agents, closely linked with this case of Jane Doe, and then trying to solve these cases and chase these criminals. We end up in fights, big explosions, car chases. So it's a lot of fun.
Fun times in New York City.
Yeah.
If you could write a stunt in for yourself, what would it be?
Well, I've got something to do with cars. Driving.
Crash something?
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite stunt you've done thus far then?
Probably some of the explosions. There's a huge one coming up. That hasn't been aired yet. But that was a very big explosion. It was nice to be part of. I threw a grenade into a truck, and goes bang.
You know, the scripts are one thing. What do you think the directors week to week, because they change? I mean, what do you think they're bringing to the show when you're working on it week to week?
You know, I mean, the great part about that, you know, it's sort of an ongoing excitement, really, as to what sort of, what style they're going to bring. You know, and it's a different kind of flavours that they've got or that they used to work with, which is great. It's it makes going to work every day and every week, every episode new and exciting. Which it's a good way to be for the show, especially it works for the show.
So it shakes things up on a weekly basis, basically.
As the cases do, it adds some spice to it, which is good.
Very good.
With the growing relationship between your character and Jane, you guys sort of instinctively sort of trusted each other, and now with the childhood connection, is that going to grow towards romance, and what do you think about that?
I hate to be shady, but like I said, I don't know. And I don't think so. I think they're sort of more a brother and sister relationship. But they do have that potential. That has. I haven't read that yet. I don't know. We'll see.
What's it like to work with Jamie Alexander?
It's great. She's a great actress, and it's great. She's a huge part of the team. So it's makes it work fun.
Any particularly fun memories from the set or anything like that?
I don't know. I mean, every day's fun for me. It's a challenge to be part of such a huge show. The schedule's non-stop, but we have a lot of fun doing it. I think in the pilot, that explosion down in the subway or on a boat out to Liberty Island, those kind of things. It's a lot of fun.
Now that you've played an FBI agent, how do you look at the world differently, especially when you're walking around the streets of New York and
I just look at the world differently as to which restaurant am I going to try. It's I don't think it has anything to do with the FBI agent or any of the past roles. It's just being able to sort of settle into New York and base myself somewhere for longer than a few months, which I haven't had the pleasure of doing. It's a great city to be part of. So to explore this city, that's a good way of looking at the world.
But what have you learned about your role that maybe things about the way the FBI works that maybe has changed your perspective, as someone who isn't from that world?
Well, to have met with the FBI agents that I did meet with was an honour just to learn how they work, how they approach cases, and how they can go in undercover and sort of delve into that criminal world. That I guess that was an honour to hear and to learn from. It certainly doesn't change the way I work, whilst making it in a TV show. Because we're not doing it for real.
But you've talked about how one of the perks of your job is all the explosions. What's been the hardest part of transforming into your character?
The schedule.
How is the schedule?
Non-stop. It's just big days, but that's the joy of being a working actor. But, I guess that would be the only hard part of the job. The rest of it's fun. It's a challenge. To I don't know. It's just non-stop. It's like that would be the only challenge.
Is there anything you've added to your character that wasn't scripted?
No. It's I think it's all there. They're great scripts, and he's a great role. So it it all just comes off the page.
Yeah, but what about your interpretation adding to what they write? I would imagine your portrayal has to add to their approach to the character.
It's a hard question to answer. Yeah, I guess just putting some of the way I work in there. I think my focus, but then my brutality with some of the fights. I've sort of said to them, I didn't want any fancy fights. It's just
You don't want fancy fights.
You fight, you just go in and do it, hit hard and keep going. It's just part of the job. But yeah, I don't know. It's been kind of nice to explore this character, and I guess put some of what I do in there. I don't know.
What is your favorite aspect of your character?
I like that he's so serious about work, and that he does get, he gets linked to his cases, so he has depth and layers, which that comes across, obviously, especially with the Jane Doe case. Then there's also another child that was kidnapped, and that really affects Kurt. So it's sort of, and that kind of, that part of the character is quite a good challenge to play.
Which of your Strike Back co-stars would you most want to guest?
All of them. There should be a team that we have to work with, in one of the cases.
For those who haven't tuned in yet, how would you pitch the show to get them excited about it?
A great action drama worth watching.
That's all you need. Boom. That's the tagline. Thank you.
No worries. That stumped me, that question about what did I put into what do I put into this role.
What kind of? Let me ask you this: what kind of journey do you think the character's on this season? What's sort of his evolution in your mind?
Well, but that's why I don't read those scripts. I don't know. Obviously, we are going to delve into his past, or how affected he was by the loss of his next door neighbour, and then their connection, like that. To come across that 20 years later, that I think that really does affect him. So that'll be, that's why I read it. It's kind of interesting to see how that goes. Whereas if I know that, I could probably answer your question a lot better. But then it would, that affects.
Give me a call at the end of the season. We'll talk.
Shall do.
There we go. She keeps lying, saying that's it.
No.
How are you enjoying the convention so far?
It's awesome, but I want to go on the third.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
great. This is the calmest day to go too.
Really?
Yeah, because this is when no one's here. Yesterday is you can't breathe.
Oh no, you prefer today. Trust
today.
me.
Really?
Oh my God, yesterday was just.
Yeah.
Take care. Thanks.